Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this comprehensive primetime special on the 9th day of the Iran-Israel-United States war. I'm your anchor, delivering an in-depth, hour-by-hour breakdown of today's escalating chaos in the Middle East, drawing exclusively from the latest reports by major U.S. news channels like CNN, NBC News, and corroborated updates from global wires. It's Sunday, March 8th, and as the sun sets over the battlegrounds, the flames of conflict rage brighter than ever. What began on February 28th with precision joint U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran's military and nuclear facilities has now spiraled into a multi-front inferno, engulfing Lebanon, the Gulf states, and threatening the global economy through disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Today alone, we've witnessed Israeli airstrikes choking Tehran with smoke from burning fuel depots, Iranian cluster missiles piercing Israeli defenses to wound civilians, drone swarms over Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, and a desalination plant in Bahrain left in ruins. Casualties are mounting. Over 1,300 dead in Iran, nearly 400 in Lebanon, at least 11 in Israel, and several U.S. troops lost. Oil prices are surging, gas pumps in America are sparking outrage, and world leaders from President Trump to Iran's Masoud Pezeshkian trade vows of defiance. In this script, designed for a gripping 20-25-minute video delivery, we'll dissect every missile launch, every hit confirmed, every plume of destruction, the human toll, international reactions, and stark predictions on who might emerge from this nightmare, if anyone. Buckle up, this is Day 9, Unfiltered. Let's start with the big picture, the timeline that has kept the world glued to screens since dawn. Picture this. At approximately 4 a.m. Tehran time, the Israeli Defense Forces unleash what CNN describes as a new phase of the war, targeting critical infrastructure in a bid to cripple Iran's war machine. Fuel sites and oil storage depots on the outskirts of Tehran erupt in massive fireballs, sending columns of thick, acrid smoke billowing over the capital. Eyewitnesses quoted in CNN's live blog paint a harrowing scene. "It feels like we're suffocating," says one Tehran resident, coughing through the haze as power flickers and blackouts spread. These strikes aren't random, they're surgical hits on facilities linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the very backbone of Iran's military logistics. NBC News corroborates, noting Israel's claim of striking over 3,400 targets inside Iran since the war's outset, a staggering number that underscores the relentless aerial campaign. By midday, the smoke is visible from space per satellite imagery referenced in reports, choking not just the air, but Iran's ability to fuel its missile launches and sustain its proxies across the region. Not content to absorb these blows, Iran retaliates with ferocity around 6 a.m. Multiple waves of ballistic missiles, some armed with cluster warheads, arc towards central Israel. NBC's live updates capture the chaos. Sirens blare across Tel Aviv and Haifa. Millions rush to bomb shelters, and Israel's Iron Dome lights up the sky in a symphony of intercepts. But not all are stopped. Clusters detonate over residential areas, injuring civilians and scattering bomblets that pose long-term hazards. CNN tallies this as part of Iran's broader barrage, with Gulf states bearing the brunt too. 189 missiles and 941 drones targeted at the UAE alone since February 28th. One confirmed hit today, a desalination plant in Bahrain, goes up in flames, threatening fresh water supplies for an entire nation hosting U.S. forces. Kuwait reports hostile drones breaching airspace, with colonel Saud Abdulaziz al-Otaibi detailing how intercepts rain debris on civilian buildings, cratering homes and sparking fires. Saudi Arabia thwarts an assault on Riyadh's diplomatic quarter and protects the U.S.-manned Prince Sultan Air Base, but the message is clear: Iran's reach extends far beyond its borders. Shifting theaters to Lebanon by 9 a.m., the Israel Defense Forces announced precise strikes on key commanders of an Iran-backed proxy force under the IRGC's elite Quds force. Beirut's Ramada Plaza Hotel is shown smoldering in video footage from NBC, although the IDF insists it was not the primary target. Steps were taken to mitigate harm to civilians, including precise munitions and aerial surveillance, states the IDF, vowing continued hunts for proxy leaders. Lebanon's health minister drops a grim statistic: nearly 400 people killed since Israel intensified operations, many in crossfire with Hezbollah. This isn't isolated. It's part of a pattern where Iran's axis of resistance draws Israel into multi-front attrition. Back in the Gulf, UAE fighter jets scramble against incoming drones, while Qatar and Oman report port disruptions near the Strait of Hormuz. Tankers dodging shadows of potential strikes, threatening 20% of global oil flows. Now, viewers, let's dedicate this long, unflinching spotlight to today's assault on Dubai, the crown jewel of UAE, global trade hub hosting U.S. forces now scarred by Iranian vengeance. Picture dawn breaking over the Persian Gulf, primary wave slams between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Gulf Standard Time. Peak terror at 8:30 a.m. over Dubai Marina and Jumeirah. UAE patriots light up, shredding threats. Sirens wail citywide from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Millions shelter. Dubai airports ground all flights 8:10 a.m. DXB and DWC blacked out amid overhead hell. Debris fallout drags that noon, shattering the morning commute. Iran unleashes 17 ballistic missiles straight at UAE skies, 16 vaporized by UAE U.S. systems, one harmless sea splash off Dubai coast. But 117 Shahed drones swarm in tandem, 113 downed in flight, 4 crash land sparking chaos. No full building collapses, but intercept shrapnel turns sky to shrapnel storm. Dubai Marina tower hit, smoke pours from facade, flames lick glass exteriors. One resident killed by fragments today. 189 missiles faced, 112 plus wounded. Jumeirah luxury districts rattled anew. Gulf News and Al Jazeera confirm, as part of the 17-missile, 117 drone barrage, intercepts over Dubai unleashed deadly debris storm. A tower in Dubai Marina, that iconic waterfront skyline of luxury high-rises, takes a direct shrapnel hit. NDTV video shows smoke billowing from the facade. Dubai government media: debris from successful interception caused minor incident on tower facade. Contained, no injuries. But pain lingers. UAE tallies 2 dead, 12 hurt today from such fallout. 1 Dubai resident killed by vehicle strike from fragments. Cumulative, 4 dead, 112 plus injured since war start per Wikipedia trackers. Rewind the horror. Earlier waves mirror this. 137 missiles, 209 drones. Day 2, fires licking Jumeirah, Burj Al Arab windows shattered by intercept shards. Palm Jumeirah's Fairmont Hotel blasts from Shahed drone, injuring 4. Abu Dhabi Airport, 1 dead, 7 hurt in incident. Dubai Kuwait airports shuttered temporarily. Today, March 8th, mobile alerts blare. Stay indoors across Dubai. Air raid sirens echo between Burj Khalifa and Marina. Debris peppers Marina towers. Glass rains, cars crumple, fires lick exteriors. Eyewitnesses: sky lit with explosions, then chunks falling like meteors. UAE jets scramble, Patriot systems glow, 16-17 missiles vaporized, but that 1%, chaos. Dubai airports partially resume limited flights, but DXB DWC chaos reigns. Stranded passengers, reroutes galore. Why Dubai? Iran eyes U.S. bases, Al Dhafra, punishes UAE-Israel ties. UAE president warns, prepared to confront threats, eyes striking Iranian sites, unprecedented per Axios. Debris toll, buildings pockmarked, luxury districts rattled, economy reels, tourism tanks, ports snag. No major craters, but psychological blow, from opulence to ordeal. IDF warns Tehran skies controlled. Netanyahu vows full force. Pezeshkian spares unless provoked. UAE feels provoked. This Dubai drone rain isn't a footnote, it's flashpoint, pulling Gulf deeper. Noon brings diplomatic thunder. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, visiting a hospital amid the rubble, downplays the strikes as obligatory responses, not meant to fracture ties with neighbors like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE, all U.S. allies. The enemy wants us and neighboring countries to be in war, he declared on Telegram per CNN. We consider neighboring countries our brothers, unless an attack on Iran originates from those countries. He rejects killing innocents, questions U.S. hypocrisy, and rallies the Middle East. Everyone should come because we want to defend the land and water of our country. Contrast this with President Trump's unyielding stance, demanding unconditional surrender via social media, as ILTV reports, while deploying additional carriers to the region. Human Rights Watch piles on, urging a war crimes probe into the day one bombing of Shahed Tayyibah school in Manab, Iran, 168 dead, possibly from U.S. munitions. Trump denies responsibility, pointing fingers at Iran amid ongoing investigations. As evening falls, right now in fact, new Israeli waves target Iranian military infrastructure, with IDF alerts urging shelter. Iran's guards claim Ben Gurion airport hits, unconfirmed by Israel. The missile ledger today: Iran launches 50-plus ballistics at Israel, clusters hitting urban edges, 20-plus drones at Gulf bases. U.S.-Israel responds with 200-plus airstrikes on energy and command nodes. Intercepts claim 90% of inbound threats, but debris exacts a toll. Cumulative destruction: Tehran's oil heart ablaze, residential scars in Israel, Beirut hotels in ruins, Gulf skies littered with wreckage. Casualties: Iran's toll hits 2,300 plus per trackers, Israel's 11 plus, Lebanon's 400, U.S. at 6 KIA in Kuwait's March 1st drone strike plus wounded. Economic fallout hits home. U.S. gas up 58 cents per gallon in a month, per Gas Buddy and NBC's New York report. Drivers in Hastings-on-Hudson lament, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, $110 to fill up. One sees it as sacrifice for rights. Another decrees war's folly. Delving deeper into the destruction scorecard, let's quantify the mess. In Tehran, fuel depots near the city center, vital for IRGC logistics, are reduced to infernos, per CNN satellite views. Smoke plumes stretch 50 kilometers, grounding flights and halting traffic. Power grids fail cascade style, leaving millions in darkness. Hospitals strain under wounded inflows. Residential fringes catch stray hits, collapsing apartments and igniting secondary fires. Southward, Isfahan's nuclear echoes from prior days smolder, with fresh bunker busting on Quds Force HQs. Iran's response scars Israel. Cluster submunitions litter Haifa suburbs, wounding dozens via shrapnel. Cleanup teams work through the night. Bahrain's desalination KO risks water rationing for 1.5 million, amplifying regional panic. Kuwaiti debris craters schools and markets. Saudi intercepts spare Riyadh but rattle nerves. Lebanon's toll 400 includes Hezbollah fighters and civilians, Beirut's skyline pocked. Globally, the ripples are seismic. Strait of Hormuz tankers idle. Oil spikes 5 to 10 barrel, 20% world supply at stake. Airlines reroute, stranding thousands. Evacuations swell. U.S. urges citizens out of Israel, West Bank, Gaza. Europe tiptoes. Spain's PM blasts Trump's war. Per CNN, most silent. China warns, flames of war spreading, pushing U.S. diplomacy ahead of Xi-Trump. Anti-war protests erupt. Israeli streets fill with "Peace Now" chants, CNN video. New York sees hundreds march against U.S.-Israel strikes. Pakistan repatriates nationals, monitors petrol hoarding. Russia accuses the West of dragging Arabs in. Leaders' war of words intensifies. Pezeshkian, Iran has not bowed and will not bow to bullying. Trump, surrender or face worse. Netanyahu echoes precision resolution. Analysts parse advantages. U.S.-Israel's air superiority. Iron Dome, 90% intercepts. Western backing versus Iran's missile horde. Proxies, Hezbollah retains launch power. Oil leverage. No ground invasion yet. Cyber, attrition next. Predictions, Lumen. Scenario 1, regional blaze. Hezbollah escalates, Gulf joins, NATO fractures. 2, Iran unravels. Unrest from blackouts topples regime. 3, oil Armageddon. Hormuz closure tanks economies. 4, forced ceasefire via pressure. Winner, stalemate probable. Destructive draw, no victor. Experts, long and destructive. In closing, Day 9 tests humanity's brink. Pray for de-escalation. This is your anchor. Stay informed.